Greetings to all those who elected to look at this video presentation, which is going to deal with the 2021 Junior SAMO Olympiad paper. That's the South African Mathematics Olympiad paper, which was written in 2021, and the grade at which these questions are addressed is grade 8. The SAMO has three competitions in round 1. One is junior round 8, the other is junior grade 8, junior grade 9, and then the senior, which deals with 10, 11, and 12. So today we are going to do the grade 8 paper. All right, so let's go straight away to the matter at hand. So we are going to begin with the first question. First question is a relatively easy one. We normally start off with somewhat easy questions in the beginning. This is an addition sum, but it involves decimals. Right, so you've got three numbers which are added, 20,21. Right, when you add, of course, you put them under each other. Put the 20 under the 20, and there is a decimal place, but both are 0. Right, so we'll put that as 20,00, and then you have 2,1, and of course there's nothing there, so you can put a 0 there. So now you can add quite easily. You get 1, 2 plus 1 is 3, 0 plus 2, 2 plus 2 is 4. So the answer is 42,31. We could have done it mentally by saying 20 plus 20 plus 2, those are the numbers, which is 42. And then you go 21, but here you got nothing here, you see. No decimal point. And here this is 10 in 2 decimal places, comma 10. So 21 plus 10, which is 31. Okay, that takes care of the first problem. Let's go to the second problem. The second problem has got 2 square roots here, so we have to deal with that. Now let's start from the inside, because you can add up these 4 numbers very easily. 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 21 is 81. So you have 81. Okay, you're working with the square root out. I'll replace that, the square root, and there's another square root outside. So that is what we have to calculate. Well, let's calculate the inside one, the square root of 81 here. The square root of 81 is 9. Right? I can replace this by 9. The outside square root still remains intact. Now this is square root of 9. So the answer is square root of 9, which is 3. Right, so that wasn't a very difficult problem, I should think. Now this is a time problem. The time now is 20:21. What does this mean? It means that the time is 21 minutes past the 20th hour. So the 20th hour is in the evening, right? Which is midday is 12 o'clock. So this is 8 hours past midday. So it's 8:21 at night, 20 past 8, approximately 20 past 8 at night. Now, what will be the time? What will the time be after 200 minutes? Okay, to calculate this, you have to convert the 200 minutes first into hours. So we can add the hours together. And how do you convert the 200 minutes to hours? Well, 60 minutes in an hour. So to find out how many hours there are, you divide 200 by 60. That's easy because 60 times 3 is 180. And the remainder is, you take away 180 from 200, you have 20. So this means, if you translate this means that 200 minutes is really 3 hours and 20 minutes. 3 hours and 20 minutes. Right, now we want to add the 200 minutes to this, right? So that is 20 hours and 21 minutes. Right? We're going to add 3 hours and 20 minutes to that. So we can add as usual. Add the minutes. 21 plus 20 is 41. And 20 plus 3 is 23. If this number here was more than 60, then we have to take out the 60 from there, because that will be 1 hour and some remainder. So if it was more than 60, like 67, then you will have to put down 7 here, because the 1 hour, the 67 is 1 hour 7 minutes. The 7 here, the 1 hour, you have to carry it over to that side. All right, but we don't have any carryover. So the answer is 23 and 41. To write it in the same notation here, it's 23, 41. 23 hours, 41 minutes. And that is the answer. All right, the next problem. We're going on to number 4. Number 4 says, which of the following is closest to a quarter of 2021? Right? So we've got 5 numbers and we want to know which is the closest to a quarter of 2021. So we have to divide 2021 by 4 because that's a quarter. So a quarter of 2021 the same as 2021 divided by 4. Okay. Right. So let's divide it. Divide 2021 by 4. 4 goes into 20 5 times. 4 goes into 2 0 times. The remainder is 2. 4 goes into 21 5 times. 5 4s are 20. And the remainder is 1. So what does this mean? It means that this number here is 505. And since the remainder is 1, right, it's 1 over 4. So a quarter of 2021 is that number. We want to know which of these 5 numbers is closest to this. And the closest number you can see is clearly 505. And all the others are quite far away from it. So the answer to this question is 505. All right, let's get on to the next problem. Okay, this is number 7. No, wait a minute. Let's see, which ones are we looking at now? 2, 3. think we're looking at number 5. Yeah. So we go to number 5. Number 5 says a whole number between 0 and 30. I'm sorry, it should be between 20 and 30. There's a mistake here. Apologies. It should have been 20 and 30. That was the question. Between 20 and 30 has the following properties. Okay, the property is given: it is not even, it is not a prime number, and it is not divisible by 3. What is the number? And so what we can do is write down, there are only a few numbers between 20 and 30. Let's write all of them down. We will not include 20. It says between. If they wanted to include 20, they would have said so. They would have said including 20. They didn't say so, so you have to just take all these numbers, 24, 25, up to 29. So this whole number is one of these. Now let's start taking it one at a time. It is not even. So in other words, you must eliminate all the even numbers. It's not that. It is not a prime number. A prime number has got no factors apart from 1 and itself. Now this thing here is 3 times 7. It says it's not a prime number. So we have to take away all the prime numbers from this. Now if you look at 23, it is a prime number. It's got no factors apart from 1 and itself. 25 is 5 times 5. This is 9 times 3. And 29 has got no factors. So we have to remove. So it is not a prime number. So we have to remove all the prime numbers. And it's not divisible by 3. Right? The same as saying it's not a multiple of 3. So we have to remove the multiples of 3 as well. Now this is a multiple of 3 here. 21 is 3 times 7. 25 is not, but 27 is, because it's 3 times 9. So now you see, you just got just one lone survivor. So that is the number. Once you eliminate all the others, you see that this is the only number that remains. So that is evidently the answer to this question. Okay, so we're going to go on to number 6. By number 6, it says, which of these nets can be folded to form a cube? So you fold along, it's not easy to explain this, but you can fold this one here, for instance. You can lift it up and fold it sideways so that it's perpendicular to this, then fold again, and keep trying to fold to see whether you can get a cube. So you need to get a cube. So let's now, it's not easy to take each one of them and try to figure out whether it can be made into a cube. But what we can do is, let's start with the cube and try to break it up into a net and see what we get. Okay, so you got, well, this is not really a cube because some of the sides are too long. Well, let's try to unfold this to get a net like that. You have to start imagining this. It's not going to be easy, but for a start, let's take the front one out. We'll fold the front one and it goes down. Or otherwise, let's take the top one, put it at the top. Okay, so the top one, This one here, you lift it up. Now once you lift the top one out, you can, this thing here can go this way. Now it's at the lower level. So this goes this way. And this back part here, this part there, is now underneath. And then this part here, the left side can be folded outwards. But actually, you can't just fold it like that. You have to lift this thing up in the front first, and then fold the two together. Get it out like that. The only thing that remains is the bottom part, and that was linked to this thing here. So that comes down. It was linked to this. The bottom part is linked to this dotted line. Alright, now if you look at these, now you'll see, well, none of these seem to fit the picture. But the closest one is this one here. It's got 4 horizontal, one at the top, one at the bottom. So if you try to fold this thing, you will see even that you can fold to get a cube. And you take this top one, fold it downwards, take this, fold it that way, and keep twisting around. Eventually you get a cube. Okay, so the answer is E. Alright, next problem we're going to do is number 7. Number 7 says, the average age of a group of 5 people is 20. The ages of 4 of the people are given. What is, how old is the 5th person? Well, let's just understand, when you're calculating average, what do you do when you calculate averages? If I say find the average of 7, 11, and 15, what do? You add the 3 numbers up, and you say is equal to 1, 2, 3, divided by the number of numbers. And this gives you the average. So the average is equal to the sum of the numbers divided by the number of numbers. So now the most important thing about this is that the sum is always equal to the average. There's the average multiplied by, in this case is 3, but it's multiplied by the number of numbers you've got. So, bearing that in mind, the first sentence says the average of 5 people is 20. So it means that if you add all the 5 numbers, you're going to get 5 times 20. Like the way we got 3 times the average is the sum. So the average is 20, 3, there is the number of numbers, here you got 5. So the sum of all 5 numbers is 5 times 20, which is 100. So the sum of 5 numbers is 100, and you got 4 people there, so you can work out the sum of the 4. So when you add up these 4 numbers, you get 10, 25, 45 plus 22 is 67. So the sum of 4 numbers is 67. The sum of all 5 numbers is 100. So that forces the 5th number to be 100 minus the sum of the 4 numbers. So if you take away 67 from 100, the answer is 33. So that's the answer. The answer is 33. Number 8. Okay, so we are doing number 8 at the moment. Yeah, the next problem is number 8. Let's just take all the drawings away from here. Now here the problem says the following: a tank holds 400 liters of water when full. I always like to draw a picture whenever you have these kind of study sums, if you can draw a picture. That helps a great deal to understand it. So let me draw a tank. I'm just going to draw a tank like that, maybe. And it says that when it's full, it holds 400. Liters, 400. Right. Water flows into the tank at 8 liters per minute. So you've got water which is flowing in here. Right? 8 liters in 1 minute. So the 8 liters, to say that the rate of 8 liters per minute means that it says that 8 liters flow in 1 minute. Sorry, this writing is atrocious. Let me write a minute properly. M-I-N-U-T-E. Right, so in 1 minute, 8 liters flow. If the tank is empty, how many minutes will it take to fill? All right, it means you're going to fill this thing up, but we know that when it's full, it holds 400 liters. So you want to know how long does it take to fill the tank. If 8 liters flow in 1 minute, that 400 liters will have to be how many eighths are there in 400? Calculate the number of minutes. Find that answer. It's the same as dividing 400 by 8. And the answer is 50. So it's 50 minutes. As you can see, in 1 minute, if 8 liters flow into the tank, in 50 minutes, it will be 8 times 50, which is 400. Okay, so that takes care of problem number 8. Now to go to problem number 9. Okay, so problem number 9, let's have a look at this problem and see what it is saying. It says that if you can travel in the directions indicated by the arrows, how many pathways are there from A to B? So you got A here and you got B here, and you're going from A to B, and you're going to travel from A to B. And how many pathways do you have? Well, the arrows, you might not be able to see them, but all the arrows point downwards. The arrows, this goes like this, next goes down there, next one is like that. So these arrows in these 3 all point downwards, and of course these all point downwards as well. So there's nothing complicated with the arrows, they all point downwards. Now, how many pathways are there? Well, we can take a pathway like this, come down like that, and then go down here, and then go down here, and then come down here. So that is an example of a pathway. Now, if you start counting, okay, the simplest one is this one here, come down here, and then down here again. Okay, vertically downwards. Like that, now if you count all the number of pathways, how many pathways are there? Now, there is a way of solving this problem. Excuse me. And, but it's usually given in another context where you don't have circles, but you have kind of grids, like roads in a town. See, like for instance, you could have had a thing like this. You could have said you are at point A here, and you want to go to that point. How many pathways are there? Right? And all the pathways are moving towards B. For instance, that one is like that. No backtracking. Okay, so how many pathways are there? Well, the way to do this is you take each point, intersection point like this, and you ask yourself, how many pathways are there? Okay, even before that, let me just show you something else. Right. Now, what I'm going to do is, I want to just take a single square. You got A, you got B. Right. Suppose there are, say, 10 ways to get from here, from A to this point here. And suppose there are 15 ways of getting from A to this point. Question is, how many ways can you get to B? Now the answer is that there are only 2 ways in which you can get to B. You can get it from here, or from here. Right? Now there are 10 pathways from A to this point. So therefore there are 10 pathways from A to B, because there's only one way you can get there. Likewise, there are 10 pathways from the origin to this point, 15 at least, and then to get to that one, there's 15 through this one, there's 10 through that one. So altogether, the number of pathways at B is 10 plus 15, 25 pathways to B. You simply add these 2 numbers, right? So if you follow that rule, from A to this point, there's only one way to get there. And even from here, from A to this point, there's only one way. You have to go vertically upwards. And here too, there's only one way, and here there's one way. Right. So as far as these points are concerned, of the boundary, there's only one way. But here you have to be a little bit careful. It's actually 1 plus 1. What's the reason for that? You can go through this point here, which is 1, or you can go through this point here, which is another 1, and that gives you 2. See? And likewise, this point here will be 3, because it's 1 plus 2. How do you get the 3? Well, to go through this, you have to go up like that, that's 1. To go to this, you can go this way, that way, or that way. There are 2 ways. So altogether, there are 1 plus 2 ways to get to this point here. And likewise, this is also 3, and then this here at B is 6. Right, because it's 3 plus 3. So the answer is there are 6 ways. You can actually try to. Okay, in this particular problem, which I made up. Sorry, I thought that's my problem. Okay, now we do the same thing here. How many ways can you get to this point? There's only one way you can get to that point. And here too, there's only one way. But to get to this point, you can come this way, or that way. So there are three ways in which you can go to the center. Now, to get to this point here, you can come this way or you can come this way. You can come this way or you can come this way. And the question is now, how many there are? There's three here and there's one there, so that makes four. The same way here, you can come this way or this way. So there's three to this point, one to that point, so there's four. So to get to B, there are three ways in which you can get to B. That way, or that way. Right. This way will give you 4. This way will give you 3. This way will give you 4. So the total number of ways is 11. 4 plus 4 plus 3. 4 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, so that you required a certain strategy in solving. And hopefully, when you see other problems of that nature, you'll be able to figure out how to work them out. Okay, we now go to problem number 10. Right. It says here that two equilateral triangles overlap as shown. Determine the value of x. So we are told that these are equilateral triangles, both of them, and the problem is to find the value for x. Let's just make this thing a little bit big. All right, now, how do we find x? Well, let's see. What is x equal to anything else? Yes, it is equal to this one here. This vertically opposite angles. So the reason why that is x is vertically opposite angles. Now, the 40 we can use to create also for the same reason, that is 40 degrees, because it's also vertically opposite angles. Okay, now you've got these two angles, but these two angles are in a triangle. And do we know this angle here? Well, this is an angle of an equilateral triangle, small one. And an equilateral triangle, all the angles are 60 degrees. So we know this angle here. That is 60. So is that 60, that is 60, that is 60, and so on. So now we've got two angles of the small triangle, and it should be easy enough to calculate the third angle, because we know that when you add the three angles of a triangle, 40 plus 60 plus x, you're going to get 180. So this is always the case for any triangle. The sum of the angles is 180. So if you solve for x, well, you can say 100 plus x is 80. What must we add to 100 to get 180? It has to be 80. Or otherwise, you can bring the x's to one side, right? Make x equal to, and bring the 40 to the other side, 180 minus 40, and 60, take it across the equal sign. Subtract 60, the plus becomes minus. 180 minus 40 is 140, 140 minus 60 is 80. You still get to the same answer. Okay. But just a point here. And why are the angles of an equilateral triangle? Why are each of the angles equal to 60 degrees? Okay. I find that many people don't know why. They know it's 60, but they cannot explain why. I'm going to explain it to you. The reason why this is 60 degrees. Well, What is an equilateral triangle? It's a triangle with all the sides equal. Equal, lateral, side. So that's the meaning of equilateral triangle. Right, now we know that when you have two sides are equal in a triangle, I hope you know that, then these angles opposite the equal sides are also equal. The angle opposite this is equal to the angle opposite that. So if you call these angles x, they are equal. Now, if you look at this picture here, you see that this is equal to this. So again, you have an isosceles triangle, but these two are equal. So if there is x, that one there will be x. These angles opposite equal sides, are equal. Alright, once you come to that, then you know, well, I've got the three angles of the triangle, and we know that the three angles add up to 180 degrees. So now you have an equation in x, because x plus x plus x is 3x. So 3x is 180, which means x is 60. So 60 represents the angles of an equilateral triangle. So that is why all the angles of an equilateral triangle are 60 degrees.